So I would say let's already start. So welcome to the second session of our Danube-Black Lighthouse community of practice. A warm welcome to all members, to our DaWetRest project partners and associated partners, to all interested colleagues from other projects and organizations, and a special welcome to the DaWetRest associated regions, which will be in the focus today. My name is Miriam. I'm working for 𝗗𝗪𝗶𝘁𝗥𝗲𝗀𝗁, which is a business support organization from Germany and one of the partners within the DaWetRest project. So I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Perfect. And I hope you all did receive the agenda also via email. I planned a brief exercise for us to get to know each other a little bit, and also to get to know mural, which we will regularly use within our community. We will then have the official welcoming of the DaWetRest associated regions with some welcoming words of our coordinator and a presentation of one of our partners. Then the highlight and focus will definitely be the expert session with presentations of 6 representatives of the associated regions, and we will then have a discussion and outlook in the end. But at first, I wanted to give a really short recap, especially for those who couldn't attend the first session of our community of practice, just to set everything a little bit in the context. So this community of practice is part of the DaWetRest project. We are 26 partners and 20 associated partners from 12 countries with the aim to restore Danube wetlands and floodplains. And we have 3 demonstration sites in Croatia, Bulgaria, and Romania. And we also had detailed presentations of them during the last session, and we will also focus on them more in upcoming sessions. To achieve our goals, we follow a holistic approach, which means that we consider ecological, technical, but also socio-economic factors. And one small part is then this community of practice. I would also quickly like to mention that DaWetRest is part of the EU mission Restore Our Ocean and Waters. So it's a really big context, let's say. And the mission has 4 lighthouse areas, and one of them is the Danube-Black Lighthouse, with the objective to protect and restore ecosystems. And we currently have 7 projects within our Danube-Black Lighthouse. One is 𝗗𝗄𝗧𝗏 as coordination and support action. And then we have 6 innovation actions with a different focus. So for example, Restore for Life also focuses on wetlands, just as DaWetRest, but the other projects also focus on freshwater and sediments. And this community of practice, well, with the community, we really want to create a continuous platform facilitating wetland restoration, especially through cooperation, through knowledge sharing, and also through capacity building. And for that, we have or we will have expert sessions. We will have co-creation parts, and we also will have further opportunities for exchange, just as a brief overview in the beginning. We will have bi-monthly meetings. You should have all received invitations for that. We meet every second Friday of a month, bi-monthly. We had our official start in October. We now have the second session and the next one for 14th of February. We also have a digital collaboration space, which we will get to know very soon. And we will also build a repository on the DaWetRest website. So I know this was a very brief recap, but we had all of this in more detail during the first session, and we will have, of course, also further opportunities for exchange in the upcoming sessions. Should you have more detailed questions, please feel free to contact me via email anytime. And yeah, we have a little bit of a tight timeline today, but nevertheless, do you have any questions so far? Okay. If not, I would say let's continue straight away with the second point, getting to know each other and Mural. I will post the link to Mural in the chat. You should have also all received it via email. Yeah, and I will also switch here to Mural. Great, I already see some of you here. Please all follow this link. You don't need to register. You can also join as a visitor. And here you can see our collaboration space. It will continuously be expanded. And we will now focus here on this bottom part, our working space, and especially on this section, connecting and exchanging. So as you can see, you can always zoom in and out on this mural. Yeah. And during our first community of practice session, my colleague did a quick survey. And one of the results of the survey was that the main thing our members want to gain through this community of practice is cooperating and networking. So we hope this can be a first basis. You can see here piles of sticky notes in different colors. So please just choose the color that fits best to your organization. So whether your background is in research, governance, industry, or civil society. And then you can write on the sticky note your name and organization. So for example, here, when I zoom in, I can see my post-it. I'm from a business support organization, so I choose the orange sticky note, wrote my name, my organization, and then placed it here in the south of Germany, in Baden-Württemberg, where my organization is based. And I also created a little zoom in here on this region, because I know that we have many people from this region, and there are many also smaller countries. So the map here on the top might be a little bit too small. So please also feel free to use this zoomed in version of the map for this region. It's great to already see activity here. And you all also have the link to this mural, so please feel free to come back here to the space anytime. We really hope that it can also serve as a basis for further exchange when you're looking for specific partners and specific countries from specific organization types. And we will also use it in future sessions. Okay, so please feel free to also do this in the background. Then I will move here on the left side. I just wanted to remind you of this section on challenges and bottlenecks of wetland restoration. It has already been introduced by my colleague during the first session. And here we are collecting challenges and bottlenecks of wetland restoration in general, but also of upscaling them. So here you can see we already have collected some. Please feel free to add here anything, anytime. Challenges and bottlenecks of wetland restoration will also be a focus of today's presentation by the associated regions. So you can so if you hear something interesting that also affects you, you can also include it here. And I just want to show you one thing. If you move your mouse over one of these sticky notes, you can see here that you can add a reaction. So if you agree that, for example, financing options are a really big challenge, then you can just put your, let's say, like or your agreement here, and then we will know that it is more relevant for more than one actor, and we can focus on that in our upcoming sessions and also in our work within the project. Okay, so I would say let's leave this here in the background and move on in the presentation itself. I already mentioned we have a bit of a tight schedule, so let's move to the official welcoming of the DaWetRest associated regions. I hope we have our coordinator, Professor 𝗗𝗪𝗲𝘁𝗥𝗲𝗴𝗶 here today. I can't see her at the moment. She's the director of the Climate, Atmosphere and Water Research Institute at the Bulgarian Academy of Science. Ekaterina, are you here with us? Or Bojan? Okay, maybe they have some troubles with connecting. Then I would say, Lara, I immediately hand over to you. And maybe Ekaterina will join us later. Do you prefer to share the screen yourself, or should I continue?
No, that's okay. You can share. I will just ask you for you to change the slides.
Perfect.
So hello everyone. My name is Lara. I'm from 𝗗𝗪𝗲𝗁, a business consultant company in Portugal, and we also are partners within the DaWetRest project. For this short presentation, I was only give a more practical overview of the involvement of the association regions in DaWetRest project. So we will start by saying that we will involve the associated regions in the project through active support by enabling them to closely follow the demos activities. Through this engagement, we will provide technical assistance, sharing the project's outcomes and knowledge to help to integrate, to plan the project solutions into their local contexts. This will in turn facilitate and support the application of the project solutions, contributing to the development of the project's Lighthouse initiative, and additionally complement the Lighthouse blueprint with insights gained from the associated regions, providing valuable data that will enhance the scalability and long-term impact of the project. So you can pass to the next slide, Miriam, please. The involvement of the associated regions will encompass three-phase approach. The first phase will conduct an evaluation, which is the diagnosis phase. We'll conduct an evaluation of the associated regions' existing knowledge base, resources, and capabilities to establish a clear understanding of the region's starting points, gaps in knowledge and capacity, and to determine the areas that where DaWetRest innovations can be most suitable. During this phase, a matchmaking table will be developed to align the specific characteristics of each associated region with the most appropriate demo solution of the project. And this process will involve a detailed analysis of each region's environmental challenges, socioeconomic conditions, and technical needs to effective match them with the suitable innovations demonstrated in the DaWetRest project. The second phase, Miriam, please. The core is the active transfer of the knowledge and expertise between the DaWetRest project and the associated regions. This phase intends to facilitate the exchange of best practices, methodologies, and technical solutions from the project's demonstrations, which will be achieved through regular meetings, site visits, workshops, training sessions, and knowledge sharing events to help associated regions understand and adapt the solutions being developed in the project, and to address their questions and challenges encountered during this process. We, rather than being passive recipients of knowledge, we expect an active participation from the associated regions in this process, contributing essential with their regional expertise. Their feedback and insights during this phase will help refine the project, our project's approach and methodologies, and will also ensure that the solutions being developed can be applicable in diverse regional contexts. And the last phase, please, Miriam, will consolidate the lessons learned during the previous phases through the formalization of the knowledge transfer process, ensuring that the associated regions have the necessary guidelines they need to implement the solutions in the future. During this phase, each association regions will develop action plans with sustainable restoration strategies that will consequently support the development of replication roadmaps outlining the specific actions needed to reproduce the strategies developed in the DaWetRest project. So these roadmaps will be tailored to their unique needs and conditions, ensuring that they can support the long-term replication and scalability of DaWetRest solutions. Lastly, a blueprint of knowledge transfer will be delivered by DaWetRest, supporting how the knowledge gained from the project can be adapted, scaled, and applied in the association regions contexts. And to briefly conclude this short presentation, I think the point is to show that the associated regions will play a key role in this project strategy. This collaboration is key. Is very important to ensure that the solutions under DaWetRest are not only tested in the project's demonstration activities, but are also tailored to meet the specific needs and challenges faced by other regional contexts. So I conclude the short presentation here. If you have any doubts or questions, feel free to say something. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you very much, Lara, for this brief but very good overview of the involvement of the associated regions within the DaWetRest project. So the next point is already our expert session, which I'm really looking forward to, because we will have the great opportunity to now get to know you, the associated regions, better, and also your current challenges. So as Lara mentioned, we will then be able to officially enter the first phase, which we can then build up in the future. Just for everyone to know, we will have 5 minutes per presentation, plus also some time for questions. So dear speakers, please stick to the time, try to stick to the time, as we only have around 45 minutes in total. But we are good in time, so yeah. Also, let me know if you want or if you prefer to share the screen yourselves. I also have your presentations here, just in case. Yeah, and I'm now really looking forward to hear in detail about the status of wetland protection and restoration in your regions. And I would invite Dragana from Bosnia and Herzegovina first. Dragana, are you here? Okay, so I see in the chat that also Ekaterina, our coordinator, is here in the meeting, but has problems with the microphone. And also our speaker now, Dragana, has problems. Maybe try to leave the meeting and rejoin again. But I'm not sure how I can help here, unfortunately. Okay, then maybe we will move to the second speaker and then have Dragana later if she manages to fix the problems with her microphone. So let me just stop my presentation and welcome Maria Soledad Vivas Navarro from Spain. I see you here and I hear you.
Yes, I'm here and I have no problem. So, well, thank you very much, Miriam, for this invitation. I'm going to share my well, I cannot share. A ver, ventana.
I can also jump in. I have your presentation.
Yes. Maybe it's better if you share the presentation. Thank you very much, Miriam.
No problem.
Well, yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Well, good morning, everybody. I am Soledad Vivas Navarro, and I'm from Andalusia in South Spain, a region in South Spain. And I'm going to share with you our contribution to this project, the DaWetRest project from our organization. Please, the next slide, please. Well, I work in the Environmental and Water Agency of Andalusia. This is an instrumental entity at the service of the Ministry of Sustainability and Environment in the regional government of Andalusia. Next slide. We focus our work mainly in forest fire prevention and control, forestry treatment, forestry harvest, conservation of biodiversity, waste management, water management, a lot of activities. But specifically, I work in conservation of biodiversity. And next slide, please. I work in the Andalusia Marine Program. This program belongs to the Regional Ministry of Sustainability and Environment. We have different kinds of resources to develop our goals. And in this project, in the DaWetRest project, we are going to focus on the next slide, please, on in this recovery and conservation plan for threatened invertebrates and marine seagrasses. And specifically, we are going to focus on the marine seagrasses. We have these 4 species in Andalusia, and what we do usually is to monitoring the conservation status of these species in the coast of Andalusia. We have the Mediterranean coast, but also and Atlantic coast. So what we do is monitoring the conservation status of these species to develop management actions to improve the conservation status of these species in Andalusia. But this is what we do usually. But we have also we have involved also in different kind of European projects. One of these is the Live Blue Natura project. Please the next slide. And what we have done in this project is also focus on the evaluation of the different ecosystem services, specifically the carbon deposit of the blue carbon habitats. We have worked in the seagrasses in the Mediterranean coast, but we have also did this work in 2 marsh areas in the Marismas del Oriel and Bahía de Cádiz in the Atlantic coast. Next slide, please. About the situation of these coastal habitats in Andalusia, in our region, I think that we have more or less the same pressures and threats that we have in your countries, specifically in the Mediterranean countries. We have these coastal dynamics and hydrological alteration. We have pollution. We have urban development and tourism. We have overexploitation, climate change, invasive alien species, and also marine litters. We have very good marine protected areas in our country and in our region, but in these protected areas we have a better situation, but we have this kind of pressure and threats in all the coast of Andalusia and in all the habitats. Please the next slide. And what we want to do as an associated region of this project, the DaWetRest project, well, we want to focus on restoration habitat and restoration seagrasses habitat, and in this field we don't have a lot of results all over Europe. Various initiatives are being promoted in different European countries to take a significant step in relation to this restoration of coastal marine habitats. But as I said, the result of these initiatives are heterogeneous, and in most cases we don't know exactly the results in the medium term and in the long term. And what we want to do, and also in Andalusia, we have different initiatives as pilot actions to define methodologies and yields and the viability of this action in the medium term. Next slide, please. These are examples of these pilot initiatives in Andalusia. We have in the marine habitat, on the left in this slide, we have an action with Posidonia oceanica in the marine in the Mediterranean coast of Andalusia, but also we have this pilot experience in marsh areas in the Atlantic coast. Here, for example, with 𝗗𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 the objective, what we want to do in this in the DaWetRest project is to carry out a compilation of all these efforts and put all this knowledge in the roadmap type document for governments that we have initiatives in this regard. So what we want to do is an international workshop on seagrasses restoration, including marsh ecosystem, wetland, and coastal habitat. And we want to develop also a specific session focused on the Andalusian level. And we want to develop a guide that collects the state of knowledge currently available and allows the identification of the challenges that must be addressed in the medium term related to seagrasses meadow restoration. And that's all. I don't know if I am on time. Thank you very much. Gracias.
You are perfectly on time. Thank you very much for this very interesting presentation and for bringing in this meeting also this marine perspective, let's say. Do we have any questions from the audience on this presentation? Okay. You can also always write questions in the chat should you have some. I can also see in the chat that Bojan was now able to turn on his microphone, right? Bojan, are you here with us?
We can't hear you.
Can't hear you, unfortunately. Okay, I'm really sorry about that. Maybe we can come back to you later or not. If not, please feel free to write in the chat. But I can now hear Dragana.
Hi, could you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah, it's my laptop, unfortunately. It's up to me. Yes.
No problem. Do you want to share the screen yourself, or should I?
Maybe you can continue because maybe I will have again some problems, so it's easier. So you can just switch.
Yes.
Thank you.
Perfect. So the floor is yours. We're happy to have you here.
Thank you. So I will just wait for you to start presentation. Okay, thank you very much. So good day, everyone. My name is Dragana 𝗗𝗪𝗲𝗁𝗏. I am project coordinator of this project, which I will present you shortly. The project titled 𝗏𝗪𝗀, Building Actions to Restore and Defend the Aquatic Critically Devastated Area. And I'm here in front of the municipality of 𝗏, which is a small municipality in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and I will show you later our position. First of all, I would like to thank for the invitation to present this project, and I would like to thank to DaWetRest community for awarding us with this really important project for us. So, yeah, can you just move to the next slide? Thank you. So Bosnia and Herzegovina is country in southern Balkans, and here you can see the position of our local municipality. It's with this red dot. We are in the north of Bosnia, a small municipality which had really important wetland complex. Just at the border with Croatia, and on this map on the right you can see actually the position of 𝗏𝗪𝗀 wetland complex. Those three blue areas which are almost next to Sava River, which is one huge river which differentiates Bosnia and Croatia. And I wanted to put this map just to show you the proximity of this wetland complex with Sava River, which can be really important in restoration of 𝗏𝗪𝗀. Here you can see some basic information about the 𝗏𝗪𝗀 wetland complex. It covered more than 3,000 meters square of the space, and had really rich biodiversity, and based on that was proclaimed as protected area on 1969. And thanks to the efforts of mainly of professors from the University of Banja Luka, it was proclaimed as a Ramsar area, Ramsar site on February 2007. And in that time consisted of 10 hectares of natural marshes and bogs and 657 hectares of natural and artificial fish ponds. Below the photos, I put also one really important sentence that it was quite important stopover for migratory birds in this part of Europe. And if you can see on this slide, everything is in the past because it doesn't exist anymore. When you type in Google Maps 𝗏𝗪𝗀, you can see the map which I just presented you here, this right map. And when you actually go to the site, could you just click once? Yes, you can see something like this. Now, instead of all this, what I just said, we have actually corn fields, and this is really shame, and it's a huge problem. So next slide. So in this slide, I wanted to show you how really huge biodiversity richness we had. These are several photos from the past, I have to say. We had over 150 bird species, almost 180. We had around 20 species of fish. We had over 30 species of mammals, over 500 insect species. Some of these species were listed as endangered or vulnerable on the IUCN Red List. And actually now we don't have, we lost almost all biodiversity richness. And one of our aims in our project will be to assess the current biodiversity richness, to compare it with all this you can see in this slide, and actually to show what we lost. And all these data are not just from somewhere from internet. Those are from really scientific papers and scientific books. Next slide, please. Current ecological state is like, as you can see. I have to say that this water, which you can see in the middle of this figure, doesn't exist anymore. It has been dried up. I don't know, maybe some 2 months ago, because I'm living quite close to this site and I'm able to visit it almost regularly. All the space actually has been dried because of several factors, which I will show you on the next slide. So thank you. And here I wanted to show you the challenges and bottlenecks regarding our Ramsar area. It was difficult to differentiate challenges and bottlenecks because they are overlap, and I just showed them mutually. So some of the most important, we actually lost a quite important and quite significant water level due to climate changes, definitely. We have a human impact because of non-interest from the, let's say, legal institutions. Humans just, let's say, use the climate changes and dried up the water bodies. And just expand the agricultural manufacturing. Together with all of that, we had and still have unaligned priorities among institutions which are in charge of this actually problem. People realize that traditional fish farming doesn't make any significant impact anymore, and the agricultural just continued to expand. Now we actually have totally changes in land use. I have to say that I've forgotten to put here pollution due to usage of pesticides, not just water, which we still have a little bit, but also the land, and we directly have the problems with the human health. And together with all of that, we now can see slowly changes in land ownership, because people are slowly taking part by part of the dried up places and just putting expanding agricultural there. And together with all of that, we have a totally biodiversity loss. So now we don't expect to find 1% of all I showed you in the second or the third slide. Next slide, please. So we already had the first meeting. I already had with the local municipality, where we created one working group and just make the first plans for the project proposal actions, and actually just made some really important conclusions and plans how to proceed further, and how to actually overcome all the problems, and how to conduct all activities to have the most, the highest actually success in all of that. So thank you for your attention. I wanted to be quick and to not to waste a lot of time. These are our first activities of the local community in this area, although I have to say that we already conducted some activities. Several NGOs which have really important significance already had some activities to indicate to the importance of 𝗏𝗪𝗀 wetland complex and the importance of biodiversity loss, and on that way this will be actually continuation of our fight for 𝗏𝗪𝗀. So thank you. I'm here for all your questions.
Thank you very much. It was a really interesting presentation, and especially this comparison also in the pictures between the state of the wetlands in the past and then the current status. So I'm really excited to see how this will then now develop in the future. Do we have any questions or also comments? Okay, doesn't seem to be the case right now. As I said, please feel free to also use the chat and we can come back to questions later. So next up would be Tamar from Georgia.
Hello, everyone. So yeah, I'll just quickly mention that at this time, Nika will present from our side and then from the upcoming meetings. So we will also fully get involved and present the rest. Thank you.
Hello,
Perfect.
Nice
to meet you. Nice to meet you. We represent Potimi and Tamar, but yeah, as she said, today I will be presenting this mini presentation. But I will just turn off my camera during the presentation because of the connectivity issues. I don't want to delay the presentation, so it's better to turn off camera and to do the presentation properly, in my opinion. So just a second, I will share my screen. Okay. Okay, please tell me when you'll be able to see.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so so first of all, I will start mentioning where is our project located, where is Poti municipality located. As you can see, it's on the western part of Georgia, on the Black Sea, eastern part of Black Sea, on the red circle, as you can see on the map. And in this little region, we have 𝗂𝗂 Lake, which is a national reserve, and it's a Ramsar protected area. And I will also present what is the current problem and yes, follow with the presentation. So first of all, the original ecological challenge started around 100 years ago when at that time our government decided to build an artificial canal. I will show you which one. So as you can see in the circle, this canal didn't exist at that time. Only there was this river, like this little river, which was it was the only natural flow from this 𝗂𝗂 Lake to the Black Sea. However, this canal was made due to the fact that there were a lot of floodings due to a lot of rain at that time, and the government decided to build this channel to avoid flooding in the future. However, as we can see now, this disrupted local ecology because the natural flow, which this little river is, as you can see, it's the river 𝗗𝗂𝗏. It basically increases salinity of this of the 𝗂𝗂 Lake because of this flow. As you can see, it's a pretty big canal compared to the one that was there. So basically, the Black Sea water drain goes without much destruction, if I can say it, something like this, to 𝗂𝗂 Lake. And as you can see, the salinity increased to 16 ppm, and that was the effect why phytoplankton and benthal mass biomass has reduced in 𝗂𝗂 Lake. Also, as I mentioned already, this hydrological flow has decreased, creating swamps on this little river. And also, Poti is home to the biggest port of Georgia. Therefore, this canal accelerated agricultural and sewage runoff, also chemical contamination of the 𝗂𝗂 Lake. This is this little river that I mentioned, 𝗗𝗂𝗏 River, current state. And municipality of Poti cleaned 3,700 meters of this river to restore this hydrodynamics, but it wasn't enough, unfortunately, because the whole river approximately 6 kilometers long. So as you can see, it's not enough to restore the full hydrodynamics in the river, and that's why we wanted to pilot under this project, floating barriers with sensors to control the salinity and to restore freshwater conditions. Also, we want to monitor and regulate sewage and agricultural runoff to the 𝗂𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗏 Lake, and manage sustainable aquaculture and biomass. As you can read in the slide as well, we want to develop reed harvesting and biochar production for soil improvement. Yeah, I'll try to speed it up a little bit. So what are the problems currently in our region is that, first of all, technical challenges. We did have access to advanced technologies like floating barriers and monitoring systems up to this date. And also it was difficult to achieve consensus and active participation from local communities, policymakers and stakeholders to decide what is the best solution for this region, because it's not only one lake, it's protected area. So we need to include all the opinions from the national parks, from the government, from local municipality, and everyone. And of course, the biggest one, most important one was financial constraints, because there was not enough funds to properly manage this problem, and that's why we are participating in this program to build coalition for future projects as well. And based on this piloting that we will be using, we'll be implementing throughout this project and the roadmap they will be creating, we want to in the coming years to fully fix the current problem in the Poti municipality and 𝗂𝗪𝗏𝗏 wetlands. Yes, so I think my time is off, and maybe if there are any questions, I will answer later. And yeah, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much for this presentation. It's also great to have you here, especially because I mentioned in the beginning that we are part of the EU mission Ocean and Waters, and we have these different lighthouse areas, and ours is called the Danube and Black Sea Lighthouse. So it's great to also have this perspective from the Black Sea. We had a question in the chat, but I think your colleague already answered it. Are there more questions? Okay, if not, then thank you again. And we can move on to the next region from Turkey. Do we have Sergen Dokru here?
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect.
Hi, everyone.
Good to see you.
See you too. I can start, and if you have the presentation, you can open.
Yes, okay, I will
It will be
open the
easier for me.
presentation. Yes, no problem. Can share the screen.
Hi again, everyone. This is Sergen Dokru. I'm working for Samandağ municipality, relocated in Turkey, and I will be try to fast.
No worries, we are good in time.
Okay. Today I am honored to share our journey and efforts in restoring the Lower Orontes River and its wetlands. This region, rich in biodiversity and cultural significance, has been facing severe degradation due to invasive species, pollution, and disturbed water flow. These challenges were compounded by the devastating 2024 earthquake, which further impacted both the natural ecosystem and local communities. Presentation today will cover the challenges we face, the innovative solutions we are planning to implement. Next slide, please. And you can see our we are near the Lebanon and Syrian border, and it calls Samandağ. And the Asi River starting from Lebanon and cutting Syria, and after that flow to White Sea from Samandağ. Next slide, please. Ecological challenge. The Lower Orontes River and its wetlands are key ecological zones, but they are severely threatened by the several factors. The first factor is invasive species. The water we say water orchid, often called the water orchid, block waterways, reducing biodiversity and altering wetland ecosystems. Its rotting vegetation depletes oxygen levels in the water, causing further harm to aquatic life. The second factor is decreased flow connectivity. Distributed water flow limits the movement of aquatic species, including endangered turtles such as Tyronyx stringius and called 𝗗𝗪𝗲𝗂𝘶𝗪𝗲𝘀 and 𝗂𝗏𝗂𝗏𝗏. This fragmentation makes it difficult for these species to access critical habitats for feeding and breeding. The third factor is socioeconomic impacts. Navigation difficulties caused by invasive species have disturbed local fisheries, a key livelihood for many in the region. Over the last decade, the average production value per employee in fishing has decreased around 30%. These challenges highlight the urgency for our restoration efforts. Next slide, please. To address this challenge, we have developed a multifaceted restoration strategy. The first one is hydrological restoration. We are reinstating natural flow patterns to enhance connectivity between the river and the sea. This improves aquatic habitats for species, particularly endangered turtles, and supports biodiversity recovery. The two is water lily control. We will try to mechanical methods. We are trialing aquatic weed harvesters to remove water lily effectively. The biomass collected is repurposed for manure, fertilizer, and even production materials, promoting a circular economy. And we will try to biological methods. Native enemies such as weevils, specific moss species, and fungal pathogens are being introduced to control regrowth naturally and sustainably. And monitoring and adaptive management. Intelligent freshwater monitoring systems are key to our efforts, allowing us to track the ecological health of the river in the real time and assess the effectiveness of interventions. These initiatives represent a blend of traditional and innovative approach tailored to unique challenges of the Orontes River, and in Turkey it's called Asi River. I will continue with our local name, Asi River. Challenge and bottlenecks. Next slide, please. Invasive species regrowth. Water lily is a highly resilient species, requiring ongoing and adaptive control strategies. Restoration must align with the needs and insights of local communities to ensure long-term success. The 2024 earthquake not only damaged infrastructure, but also disturbed the ecological balance of the region. Restoration efforts must address these interconnected issues holistically. Next slide, please. One of the most exciting aspects for this project is potential for replication and upscaling. Knowledge sharing and replication. Our methods for managing invasive species and monitoring ecological health can serve as models for the other wetlands in Turkey and beyond. Repurposing biomass from water lily demonstrates how restoration can simultaneously address ecological and socio-economic challenges. And through the DaWetRest project, we are sharing insights and resources with other regions, interacting approaches like reed management and biodiversity engagement into broader regional studies. These efforts highlight the transformative potential of combining ecological restoration with innovative and collaborative frameworks. Next slide, please. In conclusion, restoring the lower Orontes River is challenging yet immensely rewarding endeavor. Through hydrological restoration, invasive species management, and adaptive monitoring, we are not only addressing ecological degradation, but also empowering local communities and creating a model for sustainable wetland restoration. By scaling these efforts and fostering collaboration, we hope to inspire similar projects across Turkey and globally. And we are planning to do our first face-to-face meeting with partners next month on October. And thanks for let me do that presentation. Sorry for the mistakes. It was a quick.
No worries. Thank you very much for this also interesting presentation from another completely different region that is also currently, of course, in the focus politically. Have a background noise. Someone has their microphone on. Okay. Do we have some questions on this presentation? Okay, if not, then let's move further to a region from Montenegro. We have 𝗗𝗪𝗲𝗁𝗏𝗁𝗂𝘁 here. Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Do you prefer to share the screen yourself, or should I share it?
You share screen, please.
Okay. So great to have you here, and the floor is yours. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I greet all present on behalf of the municipality of Danilograd and in my own name. I am specialist 𝗗𝗪𝗲𝗁𝗏𝗁𝗂𝘁, environmental protection engineer. The municipality of Danilograd belongs to the central part of Montenegro and covers an area of 501 square kilometers. Danilograd extends over a territory with an altitude ranging from 13 to 2,100 meters above sea level. The largest part of the territory includes the 𝗗𝗶𝗁𝗁𝗂𝗁𝗏𝗁 plain. This fertile lowland provides excellent conditions for the development of both agriculture and tourism. The 𝗁 river flows throughout the plain, rich in flora and fauna. 𝗁 represents a significant resources for Danilograd, attracting a large number of sports, fishermen, and recreational athletes. In its lowest areas, a modified sub-Mediterranean climate prevails, characterized by long, dry, and warm summers and mild and humid winters. The Danilograd municipality is among the areas richest in water in Montenegro. The main part of its water wealth consists of the 𝗁 river and karst underground waters on the left and right sides of its valley flow. The lower 𝗁 flows through the 𝗗𝗶𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁 plain over a length of 51 kilometers to its confluence with the Morača river. The average width of the flow is 40 to 45 meters, with the maximum being 90 meters. The basin area is 1,216 square kilometers. The biodiversity of the municipality is relatively well preserved, marked by great biological diversity. Out of 3,050 plant species in Montenegro, over 2,000 species are present in the municipality, indicating a pronounced plant diversity in this area. The 𝗁 river and most of its tributaries, with low water temperatures and a high oxygen content, represent a favorable freshwater ecosystem for the presence of trout fauna. Thanks to these factors, 3 native trout species exist: the marble trout, brown trout, and the 𝗁 softmouth trout. The 𝗁 softmouth trout is legally protected and critically endangered. The importance of biodiversity in the municipality of Danilograd is recognized internationally. The 𝗁 river basin has been identified by BirdLife and IUCN as a key biodiversity area. Additionally, this area was declared in a special protected area, 𝗗𝗶𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁 plain, in 2019, in accordance with the European Union Birds Directive. The Bil-Pavlici Plain has become a potential part of the European ecological network Natura 2000. Furthermore, it is recognized as a significant area for biodiversity conservation, particularly for birds. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Zeta River is it is the riverbed, a geological and ecological phenomenon. The riverbed is predominantly limestone, featuring numerous sinkholes, depressions, and caves formed over thousands of years of erosion and water activity. The karst soil allows the river to create unique formations, including natural pools and eddies, which are favorite spots for local residents to swim and relax. Additionally, the Zeta's riverbed is rich in sediment that play an essential role in preserving biodiversity. The lowest areas of the terrain are represented by the riverbed of the Zeta, located at altitudes ranging from 35 to 56 meters. Limestone and dolomite are the dominant rocks in the Zeta riverbed, making the soil highly porous. The riverbed is mostly flat, covered with fine sand and pebbles, and partially overgrown with aquatic vegetation such as species of the Potamogeton genus and Myriophyllum. On both sides of the riverbed, the roots of riparian vegetation provide excellent shelter for the freshwater crayfish population. The depth of the river varies greatly from place to place. As a lowland river, the banks are not steep and are covered with vegetation. One of the most significant features of the Zeta River's riverbed is meanders, winding flows, and slow down the water's movement, allowing sedimentation and the creation of fertile soil. In 2019, the Zeta River was declared a nature park. A critical step is preserving its rich ecosystem. This protection entails stricter regulation regarding construction, fishing, and waste management. Numerous ecological organizations work to raise awareness about the river's importance and its preservation. The main goal of protecting the Zeta River is to preserve its riverbed and surrounding flora and fauna. Revitalization projects include cleaning the riverbed, restoring natural habitats, and promoting sustainable tourism that will not harm natural resources. The Zeta Nature Park is the only protected area in Montenegro that encompasses a lowland river ecosystem. It spans two administrative units, the municipality of Danube-Black and the capital city of Podgorica. The park covers a total area of 119.85 square kilometers, with 80.8% belonging to Danube-Black and 19.2% to Podgorica. The main values of the park are its aquatic ecosystems and Zeta River with its tributary springs on the left and right sides of the river, the Moromish wetland and remnants of lowland forests. An area of 2,000 hectares in the Zeta Valley holds the status of a K biodiversity area, while an area of 20,575 hectares also meets the standards of a special protection area under the EU Birds Directive. The Zeta River Valley, especially its basin, it's rich in floral and vegetation diversity. The park hosts 774 plant species, 5 of which are listed under the Cities Convention and the Bern Convention, while 5 habitats of international significance are designed at Natura 2000 habitats under Annex 1 of the Habitats Directive. The nature park has recorded the presence of 265 bird species, which constitutes 75% of Montenegro's total avian fauna. 19 fish species inhabit the Zeta River. The upper course of the Zeta is predominantly home to trout species, while the lower course, including small tributaries, is mainly inhabited by carp species. Recent studies have shown that the most endangered fish species and those protected by national legislation, the Zeta softmouth trout, marble trout, and brown trout. The marble trout and brown trout are also declining, with their numbers falling below detectable levels due to poaching. In contrast, the number of hub has increased. In the upper course of the river, salmonids predominantly constitute the ichthyofauna. The Moromish wetland is a secondary wetland formed by the extraction of brick clay. It is actually a complex of canals, streams, rivers, springs, and ponds on a small area of just a few hectares, reflecting its biodiversity wealth. This habitat hosts the highest diversity of reptiles in Bijelopavlići Plain. The Zeta River holds great ecological significance as it provides a habitat for numerous species dependent on its ecosystem. Furthermore, the river plays a key role in regulating the local microclimate and supplying water for agriculture and households. Next slide, please. Next. The Zeta River is far more than an ordinary watercourse. It is the heart of soul of the region through which it flows. Its clean waters, rich history, and unique riverbed make it a natural treasure deserving of special attention and protection. Over the centuries, the Zeta has been a source of life, inspiration, and sustainability for the people living along its bank. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for this detailed presentation. It was very interesting to also hear this detailed, let's say, figures about the river and the region. Do we have questions from the audience? Okay, then thank you, Gloria. And then we can come to the last presentation, which is our second associated region from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Do we have Natasha in the room?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm Natasha. I come from Society for Biodiversity Research and Protection, which is located in Modrica. Okay, you already got it. I was actually going to try to do it myself. I think this is better, so thank you.
If you prefer, you can also share the screen yourself.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. You already done it, so we can start. Okay. So as I said, I come in front of Society for Research and Protection of Biodiversity, Republic of Srpska, Bosnia and Herzegovina. We actually started with Bosnia and finishing up with Bosnia, which is interesting. Next slide, please. I have just a few informations because I don't think we have much time, and I think that these informations that I'm going to present to you is sufficient enough for you to just understand the area and the region and possible challenges. So 𝗗𝗪𝗲 River is a river tributary, which was once support rich ecosystem through periodic flooding and meandering. In the 1970s, there was a construction of the Western Lateral Canal, which significantly altered this dynamic. Also, the point of this was to create a large agricultural plots in the central or 𝗗𝗪𝗶𝗁 region. And because of that, it was essential to drain this area. That's why the 𝗗𝗪𝗲 River actually played a key role, as it used to flood most of this area. And that's why we have like these key challenges, which is habitat loss due to wetlands degradation, agricultural expansion, of course, and of course invasive species, and poor landscape planning and low environmental awareness in general in Bosnia, but particularly for maybe wetlands, because it is not recognized as important areas of biodiversity. And people usually, when you think of wetlands, people usually think it is a good area for agriculturing, which you could see actually in the case of Bardacha, which is also maybe the worst case of such kind in Bosnia. So today, it's important to mention that agriculture has been abandoned in many areas now, most areas, and the settlements or the populations of people actually disappeared, leading to overgrowth with invasive species and similar issues. Next slide, please. Just a couple of pictures here. This is the old riverbed of 𝗗𝗪𝗲 River, which is now actually kind of cut in half. So the 𝗗𝗪𝗲 River, which was a tributary of Sava, now enters to that canal and goes into Bosnia River. Next. And now you can see what it looks like. We have marshes within the old riverbed. Next. Also reeds along the old riverbed, and of course a couple of fragmentations of pediculate oak and common hornbeam forests along the riverbed, which are usually dispersed around this area. And in the next picture you can see what it looks like in vicinity. Okay, next picture. We now have mowed wet meadows at the old 𝗗𝗪𝗲 River. This is from the village 𝗗𝗪𝗲. Next. And of course, it is important to mention that in the previous period, we had like a pilot projects from 2014 to 2023, where we had like this idea to try to restore some of the area. And actually, it is important to mention that the idea of restoring the entire 𝗗𝗪𝗲 River, or more areas from the 𝗗𝗪𝗲 riverbed, actually originated from the local community and residents and NGOs during this pilot project. So evidently, local population actually trying to understand that there is a need for restoration to these areas, because most of the area, like I said, is now not used as agricultural land. So there was like a couple of activities in those periods: biodiversity research and monitoring activities, promotional and educational activities, and with restoring the two marsh areas. Next. So actually, this was a pilot project, of the revitalization of a small pond within a wet meadow in the village of 𝗗𝗪𝗲. And on the left, you have like two pictures that shows this what used to be like a pond, which was totally drained. And afterwards, picture on the right, you can see what it looks like now. Actually, this is a quite new picture from 2023, which is now a small pond within that other 𝗗𝗪𝗲 in the village of 𝗗𝗪𝗲 after the revitalization. And it was done before that. They had biodiversity research conducted. And actually, they concluded that this area particularly has a lot of possible wetland biodiversity that needs to be protected and more researched. From the 𝗗𝗪𝗲 River, the old 𝗗𝗪𝗲 riverbed, the only place or area where the biodiversity was researched was actually this village 𝗗𝗪𝗲, or this area. So actually, there's a lot of need for further biodiversity research and for making the plan for revitalization. Next slide. Yes, I think I'm gonna pass this because there's some things from the DaWetRest project which I don't think they're quite of use right now. So I'm just gonna, if you can, Miriam, next slide. Next. Okay, just gonna say this, that we already have supporters or stakeholders, such as, of course, local communities. A local community of Modrića and Šamac were involved, Modrića, were involved in pilot projects, and then we have their full support. We have also support from Public Institution for Protection of Waters of Republika Srpska and Public Institute for the Protection of Cultural, Historical and Natural Heritage of Republika Srpska. I think that is it, actually, Miriam. Oh yeah, that is it. So I don't think that I need to explain further because this is something that is from DaWetRest, and I think I'm in time.
Yes, perfectly. Thank
you.
you very much for this interesting presentation. It's also great to see that you already have the support of your local communities as well. And it's also good to see the pictures and again, the comparison of the before and after. Are there questions from the audience? Okay, not at the moment. So thank you very much to all speakers of this expert session. It has been really interesting for me, but I also hope for the others here in the audience to hear about your regions, about the status of wetland restoration there, about your challenges. It's great that we had the opportunity to learn that. And I'm really looking forward to the collaboration between your regions, between the DaWetRest project. And yeah, hope it will be beneficial for everyone. Lara, did you want to add something? I think I saw your hand.
Yeah, I was just trying to react because I think this presentations were very interesting, and I raised my hand. But yeah, it was just to agree with what you said. I think we kind of received valuable information for each or about each region. So thank you.
Thank you. And then I hope we can continue with the phases also Lara has mentioned, and the DaWetRest colleagues will get in touch with you, with the representatives of the associated regions for the next steps. Vlad, do you have a question or comment?
More a comment and a compliment for the presentation that today we had the possibility to have close to us, and welcome to all of you. I'm Vlad Sandu, Deputy General Manager in GeoStudies. We are a Romanian SME here, and we had the possibility to meet in Beja with Ms. Soledad Vivas. And want to greet her here, and obviously opening this discussion about the different workshops and the different possibility of engaging the associated regions. You are warmly welcome, and why not recommended to contact us in order to touch all the milestones of this amazing project, and why not talking about also for the development of the DaWetRest regions, where we are including obviously the associated regions as well. So feel free to contact us if you have any kind of possibility where we can be involved and help you for your region. Thanking again for your involvement here.
Thank you, Vlad. And also, of course, the other DaWetRest partners are free to jump in here if you want to react specifically to these presentations. I will share my screen again because we now have almost reached the end of this second session of the Community of Practice, but I want to get a little bit in discussion with you. At least for 5 minutes, let's see. So we will go back to the mural board. I hope you all have it open. And I will also open it. And I mentioned that we have this challenges and bottlenecks next section here. I can already see some input. We have now also heard about the challenges in the 6 regions. What I took with me is financial constraints as a common problem across regions, obviously. So we really hope that this concept of associated regions and the financial support that comes with it will be beneficial. And if you agree, I can also see here some thumbs up, then we can also focus on this financial aspect a little bit more in upcoming community of practice sessions. I invite now everyone that puts some notes here. If you want, you can speak and explain a little bit. Soledad, you have your hand raised.
Yes, that is because I have seen in this panel that in the expertise needed to overcome challenges and bottlenecks, the needs to have a carbon credit system. I don't know if it's in this meeting or this before that someone put this need here, but to share with you that in Andalusia we have this carbon credit system, a blue carbon credit system, because we have developed this Live Blue Natura project. And if you want to know more, or someone want to know more about our voluntary market in Andalusia, I can share with you information, share with you some results and protocols and standards that we have developed in this LIFE project. I don't know if we are going to have from the DaWetRest project a platform or something to be in touch in the future between the associated regions, or because I don't know if we are going to have tools to be in touch specifically between us, or I don't know if you're what are you going to do in this related to our coordination between the associated regions and with the project.
Allow me to answer. So we will have meetings to explain the operational part of our coordination between the project and the associated regions, and then we will clarify the process and explain how this will be most suitable to speak with ourselves and the associated regions. So right now it was just a more strategic and practical way of presenting the connection between the project and the associated regions. But then we will give you all the tools, create a share folder to kind of share with you our resources and the best way to speak and intermediate the project and the new associated regions.
Okay, thank you very much. And also to explain a little bit more what I have put in this panel is, I don't know if I explained very well before in my presentation, but related to marine restoration, marine restoration habitat, our main challenge is the lack of knowledge. Because maybe in wetlands and terrestrial habitat you have more knowledge about the status of the areas, the reference areas, the methodologies, but we in marine habitats, we don't have anything, because even we don't know the cartography of the habitats that we have, because to work in marine habitat is very expensive. So what we need more is to know methodologies and to improve our knowledge. That is because we want to do this workshop to share to obtain all the information from other projects, from other experts, to develop a roadmap in Andalusia, and maybe it helps another region to develop a roadmap to know how to do these restoration activities. We need to know methodologies. We don't know anything about these actions.
Thank you very much for sharing this challenge, and I see that you already put it here as well. I think it's definitely one point that we will address, not only here in this community of practice, but in this whole collaboration between you and the DaWetRest project. So I think knowledge sharing and sharing the methodologies is really an essential point here. So great that it is also included on this mural. Does anyone else want to mention a challenge or that is really important for themselves that should be highlighted here at this stage? Okay, if not, it's also good because we only have 4 minutes left. Then I would like to show you one further section on this mural. It's here on the right. It's called Synergies and Ways to Collaborate. And here we hope to, until the next community of practice session in February, to already establish a basis for the discussions there and also for our further collaboration. So here we invite you to always put your organization name here in the sticky notes and let us know what you could offer maybe as well. So for example, as Soledad just mentioned, knowledge in specific areas that you can share, but also let us know what you need specifically or if you have any concrete ideas. And then we will hopefully be able to do sort of a matchmaking and identify synergies and ways to collaborate. Yeah, and that is, I would say, like a homework until the next meeting. And with that, I would already like to conclude this second session of the community of practice. Thank you all very, very much for participating. And of course, especially to the speakers for your very interesting presentations. I think it was a great opportunity to get to know you, the associated regions of DaWetRest, better and to establish the basis for our collaboration. Yeah, as I said, we will have the bi-monthly meetings within this community. So the next one is scheduled for 14th of February. I will, of course, get back to you with a follow-up email of this session with the presentations, so you can have a more detailed look, and then also with the agenda for the next one. And for the associated regions, my colleagues will also get in touch with you with the next concrete steps. So let me know if you have any questions, and if not, thank you for your attention and for being here, and I'm looking forward to meeting you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Thank you to all of you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.